It's Realtor Mahad again, back with another episode. Again, we are going to be talking about Airbnb. Today, I'm with a host. She'll introduce herself, and my name is Realtor Mahad, Airbnb host, Airbnb specialist, stroke consultant, and in general, I'm a real estate investment consultant. Today, I have a special lady, and I want her to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Brenda Lupo. I'm an Airbnb host, an interior designer, and yes, just like he has shared before, we do interior design. We also do project management, and you can check out our page. We are under Leonard Sand Impressions Limited.
Today we have met, and you have reminded me of the time we first met. I don't know how many years back, like
Yeah.
two,
Yes, something like two
three,
to
two
three
years
years.
back,
Yes,
when you reached out to me and you wanted Airbnb consultation services.
yes.
So far, how's the business treating you?
So far, the business is really good. I could say, um, on a scale of 1 to 10,
Mm,
I could put it at 8 because, we join Airbnb and you want to get this money really fast.
sure.
Uh, so for me, Airbnb has been a business whereby you start to see results thereafter. It's not like a business that you put in money, then you wait for some period of years.
Mm,
And with Mahadi's help, he has really guided me a lot in the business. I remember when I was just starting and I didn't know certain things, and I asked him, how do I do this and this? And he really guided me on so many things that we shall be sharing as we
mm.
proceed.
And
Okay.
I believe the viewers are going to learn a lot from our conversation today.
Yes.
And you have to stay locked because trust me, this is going to be so interesting. And as I've said, they're going to learn a lot from this show of today. And I'm happy to have you again. I remember when you called me about the project you wanted to put in. Was it, where was it?
At Intinda.
No, no, no. You first wanted to put it somewhere else.
At Mpere.
Mpele.
Yes.
So how did things change?
Okay. So previously,
Mm.
um, I this is really a funny story.
Okay, give us the
Yeah.
story.
So
Mm.
we had looked at starting Airbnb at Impere, and we
Mm.
had already looked at the design. We got in touch with the carpenters and
Mm.
everything, whatever you really need to do as Airbnb. So
Mm.
everything was in check. But then
Mm.
I remember I had met Mahad before,
Mm.
and he had advised on Airbnb. So I asked myself, no, before you actually take this next step of going into this Airbnb unit at Imperial, please
Mm.
get a second opinion from Mahad. So
Mm.
we discussed with Mahad, and he guided me on the possible areas where to put Airbnb. I remember going to visit so many places around here,
Mm.
Chanja, blah, you know, these places where we
Yeah,
usually put
true.
Airbnbs. And he told me,
Mm.
no, Brenda,
Mm.
please, let's put it here. And he
Mm.
took it from a point of, you know, what I liked working with him was
Mm. Mm.
it was not just about consultation. It
Mm.
was more about walking a journey and ensuring that I am comfortable wherever I have chosen. So
Mm.
that is when we looked at getting another space, which was in Tinder. So when I went to Tinder, it was a very new space for business.
True.
But trust me, my journey right now there, I
Mm.
am really happy that that decision was made. I can't
Mm.
imagine having gone to Imperi and how business would have been, because in Tinder is a place whereby you tell someone I'm located here and right
True.
away they are willing to pay
True.
because of the amenities, the
Mm.
location, and just the space is really good. And I really thank you so much, Mahad. I remember there's a time he called me recently and he told me how is business, and I told him,
Mm.
thank you so much. I was so excited.
Remember,
Yeah.
you promised me lunch to take me out
Yes,
because of that.
I promised. I promised to take him for lunch. Yes, so
Mm.
surely it's going to happen.
Yeah, but I'm glad. I'm glad that you are really doing well
Yeah,
in this Airbnb business because it's not something that is so easy. That's
yeah,
why we encourage people before starting up your space, make sure you consult.
yeah,
Don't put your Airbnb anywhere
yes,
because now we hear Ampelere. You know, Since I'm a host and a consultant, but remember, I'm also a realtor, meaning
Yeah.
I sometimes help people find spaces.
Yes.
So ever since I started this career, I've never had anyone requesting to go stay in Perere. So if you could put your Airbnb in Perere,
Yeah.
and yet I've never had anyone requesting for it.
Yes.
Not anyone, even in
Yes.
my circles. I think that wouldn't be a good thing. But I'm glad where you put it in Tinder, it's now doing great for you. It's
Yes.
working well for you, and
Yes.
that's how I want things to always be like.
Yes. I remember when we started business and we had started off Mutungo,
Mm,
um, many people, when we would tell them Mutungo, at first they were a bit negative until they
mm,
saw the unit in Mutungo.
mm,
Now, people come to Mutungo not just because of the Mutungo unit, but because of the design and everything that we have actually put it.
mm,
So, in Tinder is a space whereby before someone actually even looks at the design,
mm,
they are very excited about the location.
true.
Yeah. So imagine good location, then
Mm,
design comes in and any other things
mm.
thereafter.
How did you start this journey of Airbnb? Any fun story? Tell us more about that.
Um, okay,
Mm,
thank you. Mine, I can't say it's a fun story,
okay.
but how did I start Airbnb? Now,
Mm,
I happened to meet one of my colleagues who I had
mm,
studied with
okay.
back then in school, and he told me he was running an Airbnb for
Mm,
over 1 year, and he was telling me how he's doing great, making money. And at
mm,
that time, I was basically looking for something to invest in because I wanted to grow my incomes. So
mm.
when he told me about it, shockingly, just the next day, I started researching about where,
Airbnb.
yeah,
Mm,
Airbnb. I wanted to get a house. So I'm
mm,
the kind of person, like when I hear that there's this deal here, like I get onto it immediately. So I
mm,
got into it immediately. I started asking him, what should I do here and there?
mm.
And he was really helpful.
Okay.
He guided me on this journey, and that's how
Mm,
I start Airbnb and
mm,
at Mutungo, the 2 bedroom unit that,
mm,
yes, that is at Mutungo. That's how we get into that
mm.
business. Yes.
Now, because there's a time
Yeah.
when you called me and you told me the Mutungo Airbnb wasn't really doing it well for
Yeah.
you. What
Yes.
exactly had happened?
I was not so involved in my business. I was partially involved. And that was a learning phase that when you're doing business, even before you delegate people, you need to fully understand what you're actually doing. Because I
Mm,
learned the hard way and it was a costly learning.
mm,
Because I realized, even in terms of expenses and funding and financing, I realized things were not really adding up.
mm,
So that's when we actually even started to engage the services of an accountant into our business.
mm,
Yes, this is something I would really encourage Airbnb hosts to do. That let's not look at this business at just a level of eat. I'm making money just for running a home or just
true.
to eat and so on. It should be looked at a certain level. Yeah, this
Mm,
is a company we are running, so with Airbnb, we also had to involve the services of an accountant to
mm,
look. And when the accountant started to scrutinize certain things, we realized that we were actually making losses at a certain point T. And it was
mm,
because of a lack of knowledge, poorly expensing some items, and also not looking at priorities in the business. Because
mm,
every business has its priorities for the customer. That
true.
what is a customer going to look at or receive, that they'll feel like, okay, I'm getting my value
Mm,
for money. And we were basically expensing things that were not to that level. So I learned from that that we had to avoid those mistakes. Then
mm,
along the way for Mutungo, um, I realized that I had to step into the business and run it the way it should actually be, or according to the vision of the business. Whereby, if we stood and said maybe 10 years, 5 years from now, that the Airbnb units should not just be, let's say, 2 units, they would probably be 10 to 30 units. And there is a certain level of satisfaction that is being given to the clients.
true.
Yeah.
So, despite of all the challenges you had in Mutungo, I'm so glad that you stood strong because now you have 5 units, and that is not something easy, than unit you have added in Antinda. It's not something that is easy.
Yeah.
So, do you have any best stay? Any client who has stayed at your unit and you felt like, yeah, this client has really made me happy?
Yes, actually, the client who I would say best client is currently staying at the Mutungo unit. They have stayed for, I think, 5 months now.
5 months. Actually, that is, I believe, that is every host's dream to have a
Yes,
long-term tenant
yes, yeah,
who pays well. Do they pay
yes,
well?
they do pay
Do they
well.
pay monthly or they give you money at once?
They pay monthly.
They pay monthly. Actually, as a consultant, I'm not
Yes.
happy that they pay monthly because remember, this is a short-term stay.
Okay.
So meaning they just come with their clothes. We have had instance, personally at my Airbnbs, I've had instance where people you come back and someone left, they were paying you so well, but after 5 months
Yes.
they disappear. So
Wow.
someone will be like, I'm a
Mm.
long-term client, I'm going to be in your unit for 1 year, and they give you like 2 months at once, and they start paying each month. But then you may wake up one day and they've gone after spending the other month without paying you. So I wouldn't advise you to let them pay per month because anything can happen. But you can still tell us the story.
Okay, because
Mm,
what we did is they had to sign a commitment form
mm,
with attachment of a national ID.
mm,
Yes, that's what we did because at least we know where the person we can start from.
mm,
Yes, and the person had also told us, "Look here, I'm a salary earner, blah blah," and
mm.
that's how we got into that arrangement.
Well,
But also,
that's not enough, but
yeah, I feel that your advice is actually very important.
actually, I've been to many Airbnbs.
Yeah.
uh, I've managed, I have those of my own, and of course, being a consultant, you go into many people's Airbnbs, but yours is a bit special from what I've been seeing. But I don't want to say it, so let me just ask you that question: What makes your space special?
Wow, thank you.
Mm,
What makes our space special is actually the interior design.
mm,
Um, because, with design,
mm,
there is an element of experience. Now, interior design is not just interior decoration. I've seen many people design units with these fancy lights,
mm,
strip lights all over, but then there's more to
mm,
that. There's an experience that is important, that when a client is coming to your unit, they already left their home, so they want to get an experience from you.
something new.
Yes, and that is what we have in our spaces. Our
Mm,
spaces tell a story.
true.
Even when you look at the kind of furniture that we have, we are
Mm,
trying to mimic the ecology kind of design, whereby someone is away for a safari, that they want to relate more with nature. I mean,
mm,
someone is from a place with a very busy city, cars here
mm,
and there, and they want to have an escape. Now,
mm,
that is what is special about her space. That is
mm,
an escape. If people call around and they want basically this
mm,
particular unit, even when you try to recommend them, they'll say, no, I want this unit because
mm,
of the experience. And that experience is because of design, the
mm,
touch of interior design that has been well thought through.
mm.
Yes.
It's really beautiful. It's really
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So there are a lot of challenges in the Airbnb sector, just like any other business. We could look at challenges like power. Sometimes power goes off, without notice. We have challenges of lack of clients, though not every time. So which challenges have you faced, and how have you solved those challenges in the Airbnb business?
Okay. Yeah. Now, there are many challenges. I'll be just highlighting some of them.
Mm,
Uh, First of all, one of the challenges I've faced now, there's this particular season where there's been water and electricity moving
mm,
up and there.
mm,
So you find that a client has booked your unit
mm.
and then there's no water.
True.
You understand? Luckily enough, in our unit, we
Mm,
have a management that will work together to
mm,
ensure that water is always sorted in those units. And
mm.
also, these are extra costs, but what we do is we ensure that when we are going to bill the next clients, because usually we have an offer that we give.
Yeah. What's the offer?
we give now, like for the Intunda unit, we give 2 nights at 160,000 compared to 200,000.
Wait a minute. So is the Intinda unit one bedroom, one sitting room,
It's
or
a studio
the
unit.
studio unit? Okay.
It's a studio unit. We charge usually 100,000 per night, and then if someone is going to spend 2 nights, they are going to spend 160,000. So you find we have given you an offer less, that is 40,000. But when someone comes there, they actually feel the value for their money. So we are going to give you still the value, but we shall find where we shall be able to recover that money. Yes. Then also the other challenge that I faced in the business was what I had already shared, working while delegating. When you work, when you're over delegating, you find a point that the business no longer, you have no touch in the business. And so many things will happen that you're not aware about. So how did I solve that? In business, I had to make a very tough decision, a management decision, where I had to let go of some of my team members, because I wanted the business to move a particular direction. And as a vision bearer, I had to ensure that this continues. So I had to make a tough decision to say, look here, let's probably move separate ways peacefully, and business has to continue. Now, along that way, I have had to get another team to work with that basically is in line with my vision. You understand? So in business, you're going to meet so many challenges at management level, but at the end of the day, they have to be solved amicably without creating enmity, but things have to move in the right direction.
All right.
Yes. And then also another challenge that I face is sometimes clients honestly have so many demands. Yeah. So for me, usually now for like the male clients, for us ladies, we are blessed that we are soft spoken. So when you speak to a male client and you speak to them with a point of understanding where they are coming from, they are going to feel like you really understand their challenge, and then also responding on time. Sometimes it might be beyond you. For example, maybe there's no water, maybe there's no power, and you're responding in time and you're really speaking to them. They will understand because they're also human. There are certain challenges that are really beyond us, but how you respond is very important. Yeah. While when it comes to ladies, now this I learned, ladies usually lady to lady, there's sometimes some collision. But you have to make this lady feel like they are so important.
Okay.
If you speak to a lady like that, she will really listen to you and feel like, okay, this person is with me on the same team. Because if you don't do that, you're going to cause so much collision.
Yeah, that is true, because communication is really important.
Yes.
Because when you don't respond in time,
yes,
you have a bad review.
yeah, that's
In any
true.
business,
Yes.
communication is really important.
Yes.
If at all something is not going on right,
Yes.
solve it.
Yes.
You know, someone may tell you we don't have water,
Yeah.
and you respond after 3 hours. So that person will not come back. So communication is really, really important. And so far, so how's the business? Because we change a lot of things. So how's the business treating you in Mutungo?
The business in Mutungo is doing well, actually. Even during the time as busy and as partially into the business, as learning the business and trying to understand how do certain things work a particular way, which contacts do I have, how do you get clients? Yes, and even up to now, people are still asking for the unit, even when we have the long-term client. So Mutungo, so far, is doing well.
That is good.
Yes.
That is good. I also feel good
Yes.
when someone who came to me for consultation,
Yes.
before she began anything,
Yeah.
she's doing great and she's smiling. Also,
Yeah.
that makes me happy as a consultant. So, which advice, which tips could you give to the new people who want to join the Airbnb business?
Yes. Now, for Airbnb business, I believe for you to do this business, you approach it in two ways. One, before you start the business, ensure that you consult at least 2 to 3 people who have done the business. Please, not one. I learned the hard way.
Okay.
Yes, and I want you to avoid those mistakes. Now, consult a professional. Yeah, I would recommend Mahad, not because I'm just trying to sell and so on, but for him, he has moved with me on this journey. I've approached some people, but sometimes for some people it's a one-off. They just make the money and move on. You
Mm,
understand? But for Mahad, he has really been checking on me, finding out how I'm
mm,
doing in business, and really
mm.
for me,
You,
it has been a
you
good
don't
thing.
have, don't forget to tell them that I'm expensive to consult, because when you talk about consulting from me,
Yeah.
they may think it is 100
Yes.
k. I'm
Yes.
very expensive, by the way. If I told you, you didn't know, I'm so
Yes.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm expensive. I will not hide that. So,
Yes.
which other tips do you have?
Yeah, the other tip I have is if you don't have
Mm,
money to join the business, you can start as what people call, I think, agents. You
mm,
can start as an agent or you
true.
can start as a manager. But first, be an agent, learn
Mm,
from the business. How do you
mm,
get clients? Then, after that, you become a manager and you push and then start having units all
mm,
there. That's what I would advise. Don't
mm,
enter the business like me. I
mm,
entered and I had to learn from the business. And I've had very many expensive mistakes, but when I consulted him, he really helped me out. Yeah.
mm. Anyway, that is great. Just to add on the tips, I always want to give them some few tips.
Yes.
But tips to the hosts:
Yes.
always charge competitive rates.
Yeah.
You know, if you come like in a place like Chanja, make sure you find out how much they are charging. Don't just come
Exactly.
and you undercharge, and don't just come and you overcharge. So always charge competitive rates if at all you want to stand out in the market. And where you put your Airbnb matters.
Yeah.
That is very, very important. Where you put it matters so, so much.
Yes. Also, I wanted to add something.
Mm,
Yeah. When you enter this business, pick your niche, especially
mm,
in how you're going to run your Airbnb, that people know you for a particular um, or something particular in your business. When people see our units, they can tell
mm,
that this unit is owned by this team of people. Yes,
mm,
pick your niche. It could be customer care. People say
mm.
customer care, but I believe everyone is doing their best in customer care. Now,
True.
what else are you going to do that is not customer care that people are going to come
Mm,
back to your unit for? Maybe you're selling a certain experience. Maybe
mm.
your units are in a particular way. Just find a niche, really.
So now at least you have told us about the tips, and I'm glad. Thanks for sharing. So how would you do the cleaning? Because some people say they hire companies to do their cleaning, and of which people who come to me for consultation, I've never advised them that thing. Okay, cleaning services are good. I'm not saying that they're not good. They're really good. But anyway, just tell me, how would you do it?
Oh, for me, usually
Mm,
what we do,
mm,
we identify a cleaner who is
mm,
around,
mm,
someone who is more reliable.
mm,
Now, for me, for cleaning companies,
mm,
some people do that, but if you're in this business,
mm.
you honestly are here also to make money.
That is true.
Yeah, and if you are going to hire a cleaning company, it's very expensive.
Mm,
Maybe for some people, they really do can handle it. But if you're just starting in business, have someone who you are going to train, and that person has to be very reliable. So at the
mm,
beginning, ensure that you always have some checks. For me,
mm.
usually I pass by my units to check to confirm is this person doing it a particular way,
That's right.
because double checking is very important. This cleaner is going to clean, but you have to ensure that this guest is in a space that is really sparkling. So double
Mm,
checking is very important. And sometimes I end up trying to
mm,
also participate in the cleaning, not because there's no cleaner, but I
mm.
also want to understand how the people are doing it, the challenges they are facing as they
True,
explain to me, so that we
true.
can see a way forward and improve this further.
That is true. And when you talk about cleaning,
Yes.
trust me, it impacts a lot to your
Yeah.
Airbnb.
Yes.
If you want to get reviews, the mistake we make is that we believe that reviews are only supposed to come from the Airbnb website. But most clients don't even come from the Airbnb website.
That's true.
So when you have a clean space, it will attract more guests. And if your space is always shabby, those reviews will chase away the clients from coming to your space. So cleaning is really very important when it comes to the Airbnb business. I always tell people who come to me for consultation, that always treat your Airbnb as a business. I don't remember if I told you that, but I
Yeah.
believe I did. You know, give it all the best things that you can. Don't allow your friends to come, to sleep for free, and that's what most people are doing. And something else, we have seasons, and there is advise people, the hosts, that always charge competitively, also depending on seasons, because we can see that when the year is starting, the bookings are quite few, and when the year is ending, the bookings are quite a lot. And something else, if at all your area you're having a festival, it's not bad for you to increase, something. So how do you handle, or how do you prepare for the festive season?
Okay, for me, business,
Mm,
Airbnb, I treat it just like any other business that has daily sales. If you
mm,
notice, with Airbnb, we make more when
mm,
we calculate daily. Yes. Now, usually what happens is
mm,
first, weekly, I usually have a meeting with myself every Sunday, and then on Saturday we have a meeting as a team together with the
mm,
accounts. We usually do those meetings to look at the progress of that current week. How have we performed?
mm,
And when you look at the performance and we see that really we haven't performed well,
mm,
that's when we look at how do we grow for next week. So it's like your intention every day. Like at the end of the day, you're like, God,
mm.
today I've not made money. What happens next? So
That is
every
true.
day you're trying to cook up how best can I make money. And at the
Mm,
end of the week, when you see this week that we performed, let's say poorly, then you ask yourself, what next? Running ads, talking to agents here and there to
mm,
ensure that it really makes sense. So by the end of the month, you're basically just looking at how much you have made and how you
mm.
can grow from one month to another.
True.
But if you're only looking at, let me wait until maybe this
Mm,
season comes,
true.
trust me, it will really be hard to make money. Treat
Mm,
this business as a daily sales business,
true.
and that's when the clients can come in.
All right. So we have a challenge of last minute bookings.
Yeah.
Personally, someone will call you at around 11
Yes.
p.m. late in the night, and they want to book your Airbnb. So how would you handle those last minute bookings?
Okay, now that one, what we have in our unit
Mm,
is we have a lock,
okay.
a smart lock, whereby
Mm,
there is a key and password. So if the room is readily available, that
mm,
is not a challenge to us. There's
mm,
already a lock, so you just send them the password after they have paid, and they
mm,
can enter into the unit. If it's an Airbnb booking, usually we handle it in two ways.
mm,
One, if the unit is available, they can
mm,
still proceed and use the unit.
mm,
However, if the unit is not available, we try to speak to them and
mm,
inform them that the unit is not available, and
mm,
can we give them another option. And if they are
mm,
not okay with that,
mm,
we have to refund the money. And usually that is a full refund. That includes even the commission from Airbnb. Now, I know
mm,
that is costly.
mm,
Sometimes these things happen, but what you look at is what you're going to benefit versus what you lose. And when you compare, you'd rather return the case. But always
mm,
what we ensure is we have to check the calendars daily. It may
mm,
be quite tricky on some days, but you have to check the calendars to ensure that you
mm.
are up to date with Airbnb and Booking.com.
Yeah, and also there's this growing trend,
Yes,
lock boxes,
yes,
and you talked about smart locks. I believe I advise you to put smart locks, not lock boxes.
right.
Yeah, but most people are now putting
Yes.
lock boxes, and of which they are not secure.
Oh,
Remember, because I always see them. Me, I don't put any like that because I know they're not secure. A lockbox, let me hope I'm using the right name, but I believe I am. It kind of has codes. So, you remember these suitcases we used to have back in the days that had things of codes. You have to put codes and they match, and then after it unlocks the zip.
yes.
So that's how these lockboxes work. And you can easily pull it from the wall.
Really?
Yeah, because they put keys,
Yeah.
but they are not secure at all. So you can easily pull it from the wall and bang it and destroy it, and you get the key from there. So I believe hosts that are using lock boxes should really stop that. I believe they should go back to what we always tell them: adopt, to smart locks. It is really very, very important. And something I've seen hosts doing is not bad, but they put trust in the gatemen. And that's not good sometimes. When you put a lot of trust into those gatemen, they have your key, they enter your space at any time they feel like they want, which is not right. Then the next topic I want us to discuss about is things of parties, because I
Mm,
know I advised you to not to allow guests to do parties from your place because
mm.
of a lot of things that happen. Sometimes you may allow parties in your space, and people will come and destroy things that are worth millions. So,
Yeah.
how do you handle things of parties? Do you allow them or?
Now, for parties, we don't accept parties.
Mhm.
However, if someone really feels that they honestly want to use our unit, we shall ask them for really a huge security fee.
Mm,
Yeah, that security fee is to mark that someone is actually serious,
mm,
or they are actually going to be able to take care of our property.
mm,
Yeah, so for parties, that one is a no, because we once hosted a party and
mm,
the cost of replacements was really high, and the
mm,
clients left. When we tried to reach out to them,
mm,
they actually stopped picking our calls.
mm,
So from that time, no, parties is not a thing, because
mm.
it's going to be really costly. And also the environment where we have placed these units,
True.
um, there are certain rules. You
Mm,
don't want people to make so much noise. Remember, we are renting these units from
mm.
landlords, and we don't want to make other people really
Uncomfortable.
yes, so maybe parties would work more for people with standalones.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, and also, smokers. What do you do for smokers? Do you allow people to smoke in your units
No, that one is not allowed completely.
completely?
Yes.
So, parties and smokers, which one do you hate most?
um I would say both.
Both.
Yeah, I
You,
would
you
say
don't
both.
want both.
Though some clients
Mm.
illegally
Do the
end up,
party.
yeah, smoking.
Smoking.
Yeah, because sometimes
Mm.
when you're doing cleaning, you'll find, for example, these clients from Airbnb,
Mm.
someone from some country has come maybe in the middle of the night, and
Mm.
they have stayed in your unit. They are
Mm.
really nice people. They have been so nice. But when
Mm.
you're doing the cleaning, you realize later after them checking out
They were
that these
smoking.
people were smoking. Those
Mm.
cases are unavoidable, but we
Mm.
always try to let them know that smoking
Mm.
is not allowed here.
Okay. When you are dealing with a lot of people, you have a lot of different experiences.
Yeah.
There's a time when I was dealing with Russians. It was my first time to deal with Russian clients, but they were so arrogant. They were so loud. Sorry to say, but I'm sharing my experience as you're going to tell me your experience. So they were so loud. They were so disrespectful. Like everything was new to them, but the way they're talking was not good. And some of them, were, I think that used some substances that I didn't understand. So how do you handle the annoying guests? How do you chat with them?
Okay. Uh, One,
Mm,
I've encountered some, but what I do usually is
mm,
now, like if a client has approached me, first of
mm,
all, the welcome voice.
mm.
Because sometimes when you chat with a client, texting is different from talking.
That is true.
You take advantage of what we have. We ladies are
Mm,
soft spoken. So you're
mm,
going to first welcome this person with really a soft tone. Now, that
mm,
first of all is going to calm them down. Then
mm,
also you have to understand the client. For me, one thing I believe is the client is always right in this
mm,
business. When you have that mindset, you're going
mm,
to avoid arguing with these clients, because they are going to say certain things that you
mm,
feel are honestly really maybe basic, or why would someone make so much noise about this? But you tell
mm,
them, I hear you, I understand you, and I'm
mm,
honestly sorry about it. So you're putting yourself in their shoes and telling them, look here, you're
mm,
really right about what you're saying. So
mm,
once you make them feel like they are right, they are going
mm,
to feel like you're listening to them. Now, from
mm,
there, they'll start. Um, they are not going to argue as much as they honestly were going to.
mm,
Um, there's an experience we had with a particular client when when we were running the business with my colleague. Now, for him, he was a male and as a lady.
Okay.
So the client, we had honestly discussed about the price and moved forward. So when the client entered into the unit, he started making so many complaints and laments about certain things. So I had to come in and now bring in the soft touch. And I told him, I hear you, you're right, blah, blah. We said all those things. At the end of the day, this client finally calmed down. And we are friends even up to now. And he told me, I liked the way you attended to me. You were really so soft to me and so on. Now, it's not that the client was right in what he was saying, but we had to calm the situation.
Something I've realized that some people are a little bit difficult to deal with. However much you treat them so well, but still somehow they will not give you the 5 stars. They will not rate you those 5 stars. So to me, what I would advise hosts, it is something simple. Even if you have treated them so well, but make sure before they leave your place, they have to rate those 5 stars. I know it sounds a little bit difficult and
Yeah.
confusing, but what I would advise the hosts, get your phone before these guests leave
Okay.
and you request them to rate you the 5 stars. Remember, when someone is looking at you, they'll get shy to rate you 1 star. Just imagine if they leave, what they
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah.
You can treat someone so well, give them all the best thing. In most cases we tend to clean for these clients like 2 to 3 times a week. You
Yeah.
can even decide to clean for them 5 times, and after they leave your place, they will give you 1 star. So what I would advise the host to do is,
Yes.
before these guys leave, get the phone and you put a smile on your face and you tell them to give you the 5 stars. Even if someone was upset of something, but when they're looking at you, they will give you those 5 stars. So what would you do as a host to make sure that you get those 5 stars from these guests?
Okay, for me, what I would do and what we usually do is first, before even this client comes, how they come to this space is very important. You have to welcome them and prepare them for this space because that is going to keep in their mind. So customer service, like he said, customer service is very important. I know some clients might really be very difficult, but customer service does not lie. At least out of 10 people, 8 will at least give you the 5-star rating. Let me give you an example. There's a client recently who I received. He came from Kenya, and this gentleman did not know the space around. Before even he arrived, he asked me, which bus do I use, blah, blah, and all that. And then also, when he reached, I had to speak to the border guys, the Uber guys, all these guys to actually reach the unit. Even after him arriving, and by the time he was leaving, I still had to help this gentleman to when he was leaving and going back to Mombasa. And this gentleman, the rating he gave, it was not just a 5-star. He said so many great things really about me that if you read, you'd really want to come and live in this unit. Yeah. So the experience, it was beyond just telling you, okay, you'll find the key here. This is where the bathroom is. Blah. It was more about also friendship, which in this business, if people are a turn off to you, it's not good. You have to love people. So showing that you actually care about this customer is very important. So customer care, number one. Secondly is cleanliness. Now, even though you really have great customer care and the space is not clean, it's really going to be maybe a 2 out of 10. So let's ensure that the space is always clean. Like I said earlier, when a guest is coming in, it's important to always double check. And also, if probably you're busy, always find some times in between to train your cleaner so that they can clean the way you want the space to be. Then thirdly is an experience. Someone has left their home and they have come to your Airbnb.
Mm,
Let the space not be basic. Let it have a wow effect. I mean,
true.
what is the first thing that you want your client to see when they come to your space? So give them that wow effect that when they go back, they'll always recommend this space. Yeah,
Mm,
so for me, those are my 3 points on this.
yeah, actually. Now, something as easy as a bottle of water is so important when it comes to a guest experience. I know we're always trying to cut down on costs and to make a lot of profits, but water, toilet paper, it is something that is so important when it comes to making your guests happy. So make sure you have something like that in your fridge. Make sure you leave something like a toilet paper, USB, and something most people ignore is always have lines. I mean, have, what can I call them? We used to call them call boxes. I don't know if it's still the same name, but always have them. Have some numbers that anyone can use when they come to your Airbnb. Remember, these guys come to our units, and most of them don't have, of course, network for Uganda. But if you have something like a call box in your unit, trust me, it will make a great impact. Water is so cheap, but trust me, it also make a great impact. And those who can provide juice, it's also important to give your guests juice on arrival. And thank you for watching. Thank you for always sticking around. And next time, same place. I don't know about it being the same time, but always stick around. And don't forget to watch these videos until the end, because that's the other way you can support what I do. I'm a consultant or specialist when it comes to Airbnb, real estate investment in general. I sell houses, I sell land, I'm a valuer, and a lot other things. So thank you for watching the show.